Oh, hello everyone, it's Susie, Crypto Granny here. The date's the 7th of the 6th, 2023, and the time in Europe is 17:41 p.m. Another beautiful day in Amsterdam. Gosh, I love it when the sun's out. It's so lovely. I hope you're all looking after yourself and looking after your animals and being kind to yourself and your animals. Now, let's talk about the cryptocurrency market. It's always incredibly interesting what's going on in this market. So much is going on daily. It's not funny. So let's look at live coin watch. Market cap is 1.124 trill. Volume is 36.554 bill, up a little bit. Liquidity is down slightly, 4.237 bill. Bitcoin dominance is 46.05%, higher than yesterday. It was around 45.55%. Bitcoin's up 2% today, doing quite well considering what's happening with the SEC in the US and Gary Gensler. Bitcoin is currently at 26,673, Ethereum 1857, US Tether 1, Binance 261, has been hit quite a lot, Binance, from about $305 due to the SEC case. USDC 1, XRP is doing well at 0.5266, 8 of 32, OP 45, Dodge 0.067, Solano 1946, and Matic 0.77591. Now, all the coins that are off today are getting hit because of Gensler. He mentioned about 61 different cryptocurrency coins that he regards as securities, which I think he's just completely on the wrong track here. He's completely nuts. What else can I say? He's seriously nuts. So let's look at the main stories today. Obviously, it's all about Gary Gensler and the SEC. But a story I want to start with, though, first before that one, because it just gets so repetitive, I've got to tell you that. It's a big story. Swift is using Chainlink to get interoperability through Swift for settlements and also for mainnet cryptocurrency technology. Now, Chainlink is one of our blue chip cryptocurrency coins, right? The technology is incredible. Again, Gensler says Chainlink is a security. He's completely wrong about that. Chainlink have now got Swift as a massive client of theirs, and it's literally $1 billion partnership where Swift will have to pay Chainlink for their expertise in technology of blockchain interoperability and seamless tokenized asset settlement, right? Chainlink is incredible, right? And it's currently at $6.04, and yet Chainlink should be at $60, given a massive $1 billion client like Swift, which basically does settlements for banks all around the world, about 11,500 banks globally, and Swift is an old system which was bought out in 1973 with very old coding language. It's like a horse and buggy compared to Chainlink. It is so old it's a joke, and Chainlink should have been up $20 today on $1 billion client like Swift, right? Swift does all the settlements for all the major banks in the world. It's an old system, and now they're using Chainlink, right? Chainlink want to obviously with Swift have been, the client Swift basically says we need blockchain interoperability. We want quick connection so we can settle straight away, right? And this is huge because Chainlink is a Web3 service platform, and many cryptocurrencies use Chainlink for blockchain interoperability, for security, for speed, for all sorts of things, for liquidity, you name it, right? Now, again, Swift is also partnership with ANZ, BNP, BNY, CityStream, Clearstream, Uclear, and Euroclear, and Lloyd's Banking Group. But the thing is, they don't have settlement expertise in terms of real-time settlement within seconds, right? Now, surprisingly, I thought they might have used XRP for that, Ripple Network. But again, Chainlink has incredible security, incredible speed. It is a decentralized Oracle network that has smart contracts and, basically has incredible pricing oracles as well, and incredible security within the blockchain mainnet of Chainlink, right? So Swift said they want to facilitate interoperability between other mainnets and other cryptocurrency technology, and Chainlink is the best one for that, okay? So they're asking Chainlink to integrate blockchain technology into the banking services, and this again will affect 11,500 banks globally. And now again, SWIFT is called the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, but the SWIFT system is very old. It's basically a messaging system, and it cannot compete with the likes of Ripple or even Chainlink. And so this is why they've asked for Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol. Basically, their pricing oracles, their incredible security in terms of blockchain, and basically Chainlink will provide that mainnet to SWIFT, okay? And this is huge, right? This is a huge client for Chainlink. And Chainlink, this will be a client that will have to pay billions of dollars, okay? Because Chainlink will effectively have to optimize the existing banking systems, which are very old and siloed and have very old technologies, okay? They still use a coding system called COBOL, which not many people know how to code in COBOL, and that's from 1973, okay? Now, SWIFT manages trillions of dollars a year, something like $7 trillion a year. It is a huge client for Chainlink, okay? Huge client. And the thing is, Chainlink can do, a public mainnet or a private mainnet for different banks. It can basically offer interoperability between different mainnets. It has nearly instant settlement, and it's a huge leap forward for SWIFT to actually employ Chainlink. And Chainlink will charge them a lot of money, like billions of dollars. And Chainlink, I see it as a blue chip cryptocurrency with amazing technology, which Mr. Gensler, Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, doesn't even talk about, right? This is a major step forward for SWIFT, which basically is a Belgium-based financial messaging system. It's very old, and it's going to be huge for Chainlink in terms of their profitability, right? This is a huge contract for Chainlink. It's a huge contract, and the fact that they're working, on behalf of SWIFT, they will charge SWIFT a lot of money to get this technology operational across 11,500 banks. It's one of the biggest stories out there. No one is focusing on it, but it is absolutely huge, okay? Absolutely huge. Now, everyone knows about this SEC thing with Gary Gensler, right? Now he's suing Coinbase, he's suing Binance. We all know that. He's trying to stop Binance's assets in the US. Also, he's named 61 cryptocurrencies that he believes are securities, and clearly all the people surrounded with those 61 currencies, including Ada, Cardano, are saying, no, this is not a security. We need this, coin for the operation of our mainnet. He seems to be, not even looking at the technology of cryptocurrency, right? And now they're looking at over 60 digital assets that he considers securities. I mean, the guy is just completely, look, what can I say? I've got to be kind about this, but he has no idea. He's supposed to be an MIT professor, that's supposed to understand cryptocurrency technology, but he has never, ever spoken about technology. So now he's obviously suing Coinbase and says Coinbase has made billions of dollars unlawfully facilitating the buying and selling of crypto asset securities. I mean, more specifically, it intertwines a traditional service and exchange broker and clearinghouse without having registered any of these functions with the commission. But let's be realistic about this, right? There is no regulatory law in the US about cryptocurrency assets, right? None whatsoever. Now, Coinbase also spoke to the SEC over and over again over the last 5 years or something, and the SEC have never come back to them, right, about any sort of clarity. And that's a fact. And so did Binance, right? They came back with no clarity. And he says that every exchange is disregarding the SEC rules for financial markets But financial markets are not the same as cryptocurrency markets with the cryptocurrency technology, right? So, it's clear that Gensler is not backing down, but he's trying to literally kill the whole crypto industry. And yet there's no regulation in the US that has come out like markets and digital assets in Europe, right? It just blows my mind, this, really. And now he's suing everyone, right? He was also on TV the other day, and he basically said that, we don't need any more digital assets except, fiat currency. But he's missing the whole ideology of blockchain and the technology of blockchain. In terms of blockchain and mainnet technology for cryptocurrency, there are different types of blockchains. We have Ethereum, which is smart contracts and can do ICOs. We have Ripple's technology that makes instant payments and can do NFTs and can transfer any asset within seconds. No other financial market system can do that, and SWIFT certainly can't do it. We have blockchain for IDs, so you don't have to always ID yourself everywhere you go. If it's on blockchain and on a public blockchain or a private one, then it's very easy to ID people. We have mainnet blockchain for supply chain management, ensuring the goods you buy or the food you buy are not fraud or have been tampered with. We have blockchain for so many different things, right? Just to name a few, we have blockchain for gaming. We have blockchain for carbon emission. We have blockchain to lower the pollution. We have blockchain that can clean the waters, and make the water non-polluted. We have blockchain for so many different things in our day-to-day life and technology. We have blockchain that can do accounting. We have blockchain that can do, compliance. We have blockchain coupled with AI that can replace nearly 1 billion people. I mean, this Gary Gensler is just lost. He's just completely lost himself, right? Honestly, there was a CNBC interview. Gensler argued the market already possesses a digital currency, US dollar. He basically said, why do we need another one? There is no digital currency for US dollar. He named euro and yen as forms of digital currency. Get real. These are fiat currencies that use SWIFT, the old interbank settlement system, which, with fiat foreign exchange currencies could take you anything from trade date. When you do the trade today, you may not get the money settling until 2 days later unless it's a well-known fiat currency like US yen, or if you're dealing in something that's not a well-known currency like Rand, South African Rand, or, the Costa Rica, whatever it is, it could take you up to 25 days to get your money, right? This guy doesn't understand the technology of cryptocurrency. It just blows my mind. He hasn't got a clue. And he never, ever mentions the technology of cryptocurrency in his arguments. It's just got me. I mean, seriously, this guy just doesn't seem to have a clue. And he never, and he basically says, we are protecting the end investor, the retail investor. But every time he comes out with something, the cryptocurrency market sells off another 8 to 10%. I mean, honestly, the whole of America, in terms of cryptocurrency technology, should be yelling and banging down his door. He says that we are supposed to protect investors and retail investors, but he's not even talking about the technology of cryptocurrency and what it can do. I mean, cryptocurrency technology, will replace accountants because the technology itself can do accounting. It can do bookkeeping. It can do compliance. I mean, it can reconcile something within seconds. It used to take people, a week to reconcile a bank account, or a month, right? It can settle money within seconds. And like I said, if you use SWIFT, you don't get your physical cash, right, for 2 days or up to 25 days, right? Think about when you get paid right before cryptocurrency came in. You wouldn't get paid straight away, or the bank takes the money out of your account on Friday, and you don't get your money, or something else until 3 days or 4 days later. I mean, it's just unbelievable. If you pay a payment with a normal bank that uses SWIFT, the payment gets taken out on Friday, but the person you've got to pay doesn't get the money for 3 or 4 days. What drugs is this guy on? Seriously, what drugs is this guy on? Now, Coinbase filed a public petition to the SEC in July 2022 asking the SEC Commission, Mr. Gary Gensler, to clarify its rules on which assets should be regarded as securities and how to regulate digitally native security, how to regulate those. Well, I've got news for you. The SEC under Gary Gensler didn't even come back with an answer, right? And then in April 2023, the SEC issued a Wells notice to the exchange warning the company that the staking products constituted unregistered securities. And now they're suing the exchange and Binance, right? I mean, the Coinbase Chief Legal Officer, Paul Grewal, said if the SEC's answer to our petition for rulemaking is no, they are required by law to tell us because we have the legal right to know, right? And now they've got to go to court to get the SEC to respond to their public petition from July 2022. I mean, what is this guy? Mr. Gens on the SEC, is he a law to himself where he's so arrogant he won't even answer people's questions, right? I mean, people don't go into business to basically, not follow the rules and the laws and everything else. But the reality is there is no cryptocurrency laws and regulation in the US, right? And the thing is, how can the SEC be enforcing people and suing them for incredible huge fines and sums? We're talking millions of fines and sums, like billions overall, and yet there's no cryptocurrency regulation. Cryptocurrency assets are very, very different to other financial market assets like bonds, equities, property, whatever you want to call it, right? They have technology behind them. And often the coin and the token is needed in the mainnet for that technology to operate the technology. Where is this? This guy, I'm so frustrated, people, I can't even tell you, right? The SEC is supposed to respond to the exchanges and everyone else, but, they just take it a law to themselves, they don't even respond. Just like Ripple, right? XRP, Ripple's had to spend $200 million fighting the SEC, and yet there was a vested interest because the people that work in the SEC, Mr. Hinman and the likes, were, pro-Ethereum. And this is why Ethereum was not classified as security. There was an invested interest where these people were getting paid by the Ethereum Foundation. I mean, seriously, the rules should be there to establish what are digital assets, and most of the countries in the world say they're more like commodities, they're not securities, right? And the fact is the US SEC and Mr. Gary Gensler are just ignoring everyone, right? Coinbase have had a push for US clarity on regulation, and yet the US SEC just ignores everyone. And again, what happened with FTX? He was mates, Mr. Gary Gensler was mates with, SBF or whatever his name was, right? Which I don't want to name his name because he was just an absolute thief and a crook, right? And yet they didn't pick that up. And yet, they're not, they're just not proactive in a proactive way. And it's costing the US economy billions and billions of dollars. And there'll be a flight out of technologists, people that know all the technology of cryptocurrency and its incredible ability to change this world, which it's already doing. They will go to offshore as we speak, and they are, right? This guy is, causing the US to lose so much money. The US used to be innovated, but how can an SEC department, this guy wasn't even voted in by Congress or anything. He was put in by, President Biden, and the guy is way out of his depth, and yet he is controlling the markets of cryptocurrency, controlling this incredible technology that is bigger than the internet. And the guy wasn't even voted in by the people. And he says he's looking after the retail cryptocurrency investors' interests when every time he opens his mouth and sues someone else, the cryptocurrency market sells off 10%, right? I mean, this is just, the US, everyone should be banging on the door of this guy. This guy is just fair income. I can't understand this. He says there's no need for more digital currencies. What the hell is the guy talking about? Does he not understand that literally the coins we look at, 100 in the market out of 25,000 coins and tokens, have the most incredible technology you've ever seen? This is bigger than the internet, people. And this is like Gary Gensler trying to stop the internet, right? I mean, it's just mind-blowing how this guy has so much power and yet no one's doing anything about it. I can't understand it, right? It's just unbelievable. And all he can talk about is the exchanges, are not following the rules. Well, what rules? The exchanges ask them. What are the rules? What are the regulations? He talks about commingling functions. I mean, this guy's talking garbology, people. Garbology. And they honestly, if the US has got any smarts about them, they need to get rid of this guy. Because what we're seeing now is in Asia and China and the Middle East and everywhere else, apart from the US and Europe, they're going gangbusters, right? And the fact that SWIFT, one of the oldest organizations in the world, which is, literally the whole financial markets uses the clunky settlement system of SWIFT, right? They're using Chainlink, right? Which the technology of Chainlink is unbelievable. And yet this idiot causes Chainlink a security. It just blows my mind. What else can I say here? What can I say? There's been many exchanges between, Mr. Gary Gensler and all the leaders or the founders of the exchanges and certainly Ripple. And yet the SEC and Gary Gensler are just ignoring everyone and saying everything is a security. Well, it's not a security. The Howey test does not apply. It was a 90 years old, the Howey ruling, right? It's 90-old legislation and it does not apply to cryptocurrency technology. And all this guy can say is the whole business of crypto is built on non-compliance with US security laws. And yet cryptocurrency and technology is totally different to buying a bond or an equity, a share in a company. Totally different. I mean, people should be just screaming about this Fed income. I mean, okay, I've had my rant now, guys and girls, but it is just absolute frustration when I read the garbage this Gensler is saying. It is garbage, absolute garbage. Anyway, I'm just going to have a glass of water to calm myself down. And now, this guy, Mr. Gensler, seems to have the power about who can acquire different companies all over the world, right? Binance is looking to acquire GoPax in South Korea to build a presence in South Korea for cryptocurrency exchanges. And now because of the ongoing legal battle with the SEC, this might stop Binance from expanding its business, right? So how the hell does one bloke, Mr. Gary Gensler, had that sort of power when he hasn't even been elected in by Congress or the American people? I mean, it just blows my mind. This guy can literally, make cryptocurrency exchanges broke, because they're fining people copious amounts of money even when the company is broke, right? It's just outrageous. And how do they decide their fines, which are hundreds of millions of dollars, right? I mean, seriously. So the ongoing legal action with Binance, now the Financial Services Commission of South Korea are obviously tracking this. And, they wanted to acquire GoPax, a prominent South Korean trading platform, and yet, the SEC can put the brakes on that in another country. Technically speaking, the SEC, should only be about US organisations and not organisations, in other parts of the world, right? I mean, seriously, this is just over the top. I've got to tell you that. It is over the top. And, Gensler, they need to do something about Gensler because literally, cryptocurrency technology will just fly out of the US, and it doesn't help any US retail investor, which is what the SEC is supposed to do, right? I mean, even Circle, which was a US-based company, now have a major payment institution license in Singapore. They're all leaving, right? If you look at the technology jobs, people are losing their jobs hands over fist, left, right, and centre because of cryptocurrency technology being ruled out in the US, and clearly, AI as well, right? I mean, people are getting out of there, and it's just going to continue, right? If Gensler stays in his position. I mean, it's just a joke. Plus, you've got an 80-year-old president who hasn't got a clue either, right? I mean, God forbid, I really, really feel sorry for the US investors, seriously, and just the US people generally, right? It's unbelievable. Seriously, it really is unbelievable. Anyway, Lossless Aegis supports Avalanche. Again, Avalanche has an incredible mainnet. It has smart contracts, real-time pricing oracles. It can do NFTs. It can do anything, right? So other operations are using Avalanche for DeFi, for all sorts of things, okay? People use other technologies in crypto because they don't have that technology, just like Swift using Chainlink. And Gensler is missing the whole point. I got to tell you that, the whole point. Now, also Brad Garlinghouse came out and basically said Ripple's head believes there's a deeper reason behind the SEC's most recent actions. And honestly, I think it's simply because the big banks cannot compete with cryptocurrency technology, and Gensler is protecting the big banks in the US, right? Absolutely, and that's what I think it is, right? Mr. Garlinghouse from Ripple doesn't agree with Gary Gensler's story about working forward at the commission and working towards pro-innovation. A matter of fact, you got to laugh out loud, seriously, because, he's so against cryptocurrency technology. This guy is a relic. He's an old relic. Seriously, he's like an old warship, and yet we've now got Maserati technology, and this guy won't even, look at that, right? The guy is supposed to have a background in blockchain and technology, but he's never ever mentioned the technology, and he hasn't got a friggin' clue, right? And, that's subsequently we see, cryptocurrency, coins like Matic, Chainlink, and all others selling off, and yet they've got the most incredible technology you can imagine, right? Swift is a huge, huge client for Chainlink. 11,500 banks in the world use Swift for a settlement system, and there's about 44,000 banks globally. And this client that Chainlink has now got will have to pay billions and billions of dollars in fees to Chainlink for their technology, and yet the coin is at $6, right? I mean, seriously, this is just ridiculous, and they need to get rid of Gensler in a big way, because honestly, and now he's come out and said Cardano is an security. I mean, seriously, the Cardano Foundation disagrees with the recent qualification of ADA as a security under US law, whatever the law is. We look forward to continued engagement with the regulators and policymakers to achieve legal clarity and certainty on these matters. The only people that are winning in the US at the moment are the crypto lawyers, okay? They will be rubbing their hands with glee because of all this litigation, right? And yet things get caught in law courts for years and years and years, right? And that's the only people that win in the US are the crypto lawyers. I mean, this is, I've got to tell you, an abomination. I just think this is just unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. But either way, Gary Gensler can do it. He's obviously doing what he's doing, but the fact of the matter is he cannot stop the most incredible technology that is bigger than the internet. If you understand the technology of all these different cryptos, right, it is bigger than the internet, right? It's just that simple. And, when does a guy ever talk about the different technology. When does he, right? You know, the technology being payments, bank collateral lending, NFTs, DeFi, you know, all decentralized, right? Oracle pricing, compliance, utility power, interconnecting different blockchains, media gaming, supply chain management. I mean, you know, when does a guy ever talk about that, right? You know, business related real estate, ID, real estate can be put through cryptocurrency payment and assets, right? Social media, the Internet of Things, music streaming, you know, machine learning, data storage security, videos. This is all the different technology of cryptocurrency, people. You know, and this guy hasn't got a clue, right? DEX swapping, artificial intelligence, data and cloud services, right? You know, in a decentralized way that cannot be tampered with, right? That can reconcile things so fastly. It is not funny. Audit for smart code, compliance, virtual reality. I mean, this guy, honestly, I just got to tell you, this guy needs to be removed, right? Fair income, because the US is going to lose. China is seriously smart. They know what they're doing. And I believe China will, you know, be literally, you know, the US don't change their tune, they're going to miss something like the biggest opportunity like the internet we've ever seen. And it's huge. It's, as I said, cryptocurrency technology is bigger than the internet. Anyway, guys and girls, enough of me today. Let's leave on a great note. Please enjoy your life. The sun is beautiful. I'm going to go out and enjoy the sun and have a beer. Please look after yourselves, and I will talk very soon. And apologising for my rave today, because I'm just so frustrated by that idiot, you know, and you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you very soon. And thank you so much for listening to my rave today. Thank you.